December 15th, 2021. May I please get members present?
Marie Brizuela,
Here.
Andrea Jordan,
Here.
Shaquille Ali,
Here.
Manufo Lea'inga Anua'i is absent, Clayton Koo.
Here. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. Superintendent Vidalis, could you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is item 4, governance team meeting guidelines. Governance team members will review the governance team meeting guidelines. Great. Next is the approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
There's a first and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next is 6, governing board annual reorganization. 6A, election of officers and representatives. The board each year is required under Education Code 35022 and 35143 to elect a president and clerk. Board bylaw 9100 also specifies that a vice president shall be elected. The board shall also elect a representative and alternate to the County Committee on School District Organization, Education Code 35023. I'll entertain any motions to elect a president for a board.
Well, I don't have a motion. I guess I kind of want to, have we already discussed this?
We shouldn't have discussed this, so you guys can discuss it right now. Determine who you'd like to be your president, vice president, clerk, and the representative.
This is my last year on the school board. Won't be running next year. If anybody would like to nominate me for president, I would truly appreciate the opportunity to have the last year to serve this district, if you so desire.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Should I make the motion?
I didn't make the motion.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
So,
Seeing none.
okay, I guess that's fine. I guess I know where I stand. I'm so sorry. I thought I did a really great job 7 years ago. And I would have done the same.
Well,
Oh, sorry, good.
I thought we were still discussing, and I didn't hear a motion, but I was withholding. I wanted to go last basically because I'm just coming back onto the board. So I haven't heard any discussion really yet. But I know this is for action, not discussion. Yeah, so I wasn't sure if I actually heard a motion, so that's why I was being quiet.
And well, I can say that I was being quiet because I have been on the board for the past 12 months, and there have been certain incidences, unfortunately, that have made me feel as though I'm not ready to give a motion or a second to the motion that was basically given. I think I've only been on the board a year. I was the clerk in the past year. That role wasn't as, I guess, the requirements to be at the board meeting every time, and or there was no requirement for me to manage or lead the meetings. And I would say that someone that needs to lead the meeting needs to be, number one, able to read the agenda appropriately, be able to command the room, be able to think objectively and calmly. I'm not going to nominate myself. Again, I've only been on the board for a year and I am still trying to get my bearings. But unfortunately, that is the reason why I did not make a motion or a second based on the motion that was on the table. So.
So I was going to say, since the motion proposed has no second, would anybody else like to make a motion to consider for the board?
So I know our other trustees not also here today, and so unfortunately, I also feel like I would like her voice to kind of make some of these decisions, because if we move forward without her in the room, I mean, again, I don't know. This is my first time around. The first time I did this, I was kind of just like listening, and now that I've been on the board for a year,
So it only takes three to
I get it.
have
I get it.
to have an action. So you don't need all five of you here. It is nice when you are. Unfortunately, Ms. Leingano, I had a family emergency this afternoon,
Yeah.
which keeps her away from tonight. But she feels confident that the rest of the board would make the best decision moving forward, which I would assume includes if someone wants to nominate her, she would need to live with that decision.
Okay.
I have a question. So, actually, I haven't heard from Mr. Koo yet. But I don't know if you have anything to say, but I do have a question, which is, so currently, are you the vice president, Mr. Koo?
So we don't, Ms. Liangano, I was the elected vice president, so she was acting as president since Ms. Manio resigned.
Oh, okay.
So
And we don't have a vice president right now?
that's correct, yeah.
So then, I guess with that being said, I would like to motion to have Ms. Trustee Koo be present.
Is there a second?
Wait, what was the motion?
Trustee Jordan, could you repeat the motion?
The motion was to elect Trustee Koo as president.
I thought we said we're gonna wait for for Bo to be here.
That was not superintendent.
Yeah, the decision needs to be made between now and Christmas Day. That's when the reorganization has to happen. You only need 3 board members to act.
Yeah.
So we don't need Ms. Liangano. She's confident that the board would make a good decision.
Okay.
So,
Sorry,
okay,
go ahead.
I'm really confused on what's going on here. So, so you said there was a motion on the table because I said I'll make the motion. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I don't,
Sorry. Sorry, repeat the
I'm
question.
trying to follow this. This kind of went.
Sorry, repeat the question.
I never heard
Well,
a motion.
So the last thing I heard was Ms. Jordan made a motion to nominate Mr. Koo as president.
Okay,
That's the last motion on the table.
oh. Okay,
Okay. Is there a second on the motion on the table?
Second.
If there's a first and a second, may I please get a roll call?
Mrs. Brizuela,
I'll abstain.
Ms. Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Can we abstain in a,
We're not supposed to abstain unless there is a conflict of interest.
Okay, then I'd like to have it.
So an abstention counts as a no.
Okay, then I'll take back what I said about the abstention. I would like to have a discussion as to why why you don't feel that I should be serving as board. I just want a discussion on it. Please tell me, is it the way I wear my hair? Is
No,
it
I
because
can-
I'm too old?
I can speak from my personal experience. There have been meetings where you have been unable to follow the agenda. There have been meetings where you're unable to understand what is going on, and/or speak to the public when questions have been asked. There have been times where, not the last meeting, but the meeting before last, where I did feel a bit attacked, and you were not following some of the meeting guidelines. There have been meetings during the pandemic where you have maybe been cut off and unable to attend. And my understanding, at least again, I've only been on the board for a year, we need someone that is going to be able to adhere to the guidelines, someone that is going to be able to follow the agenda, command the audience, as well as be a team player. And there have been many points in the 12 months that I've been on the board where I have not felt like you have been the best team player. So those, again, my personal opinion.
Okay,
Any,
that's fine. I just was very,
Ms. Arai, would you finish calling roll call, please?
Mr. Ali,
aye?
Mr. Ku.
aye.
aye.
So that was 4 ayes. Next role is the position of vice president. I will entertain a motion for nomination for vice president. I would like to nominate Trustee Jordan for vice president.
I'll second it.
There's a first and a second. May I please get a roll call?
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Ku.
Aye. Congratulations. Next position is clerk. I will entertain nominations for the position of clerk.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Brizuela.
Second.
There's a first and a second. May I please get a roll call?
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Ku.
Aye. Congratulations. Next is the position of representative for the County Committee on School District Organization. Anyone would like to make a nomination for a representative?
And also there's an alternate, so you can make it as one motion.
Okay. I will nominate Trustee Ali for representative to the County Committee on School District Organization.
Second.
First and a second, may I please get a roll call?
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Ku.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next is alternate to the County Committee on School District Organization.
Do we have to have that?
It is important that we have an alternate because oftentimes we get about a week's notice that the meeting is coming. So it's nice to have a second person in line that can make the meeting, potentially. It's one meeting a year. It's usually at the end of November. This year it was earlier, so it changes. It can be it's not an officer, it's just a representative, so any of the officers can serve on that as well.
I'd like to make a motion for trustee Diego Anuai to be
Alternative.
the alternate for the County Committee on School District Organization.
Second. May I please get a roll call?
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Pu.
Aye. Thanks. Next item, 7A, consent agenda. The administration recommends approval of the starred items on the rest of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. to
There's a
approve
motion.
The consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 That was unanimous. Next is item 7C, reorganization of the boards of the district and board subcommittees. The board will consider the composition of existing subcommittees and appoint 1 or 2 board members as representatives to the district board subcommittees. They are the Parent Involvement Advisory Committee, the PIAC, 1 member, Wellness, 1 member, City of Daly City, Colma, and other local partnerships, 2 members, Jefferson Union High School District and local elementary school district, 2 members, and board policy, 2 members. Superintendent Dallas, could you give us an overview of these subcommittees again?
Certainly. Real quick, the Parent Involvement Advisory Committee works with on a committee with representatives from every school site, parent representatives. Sometimes there's community organization representatives. Their role in the last couple of years has been to review the LCAP development process and serve as an advisory committee to the board in its review and comments on the LCAP. So they will meet more heavily in the spring as that plan is being rolled out. Wellness Committee. The purpose of the Wellness Committee is to determine and provide some level of oversight for our breakfast and lunch program and make sure that our district has a wellness policy that's up to date. And that's the work that the committee has been engaged in over the last year and will finish this year. And the City of Daly City, Colma, and other local partnerships, 2 board members sit on this subcommittee if there's an issue that requires our school district and any of these agencies to discuss on it's called a 2x2, 2 of our members, 2 of their members, just to begin to raise some of the issues. They don't take action without board action. They would bring back recommendations to the board to consider. And let's see, the last one is Jefferson Union High School District and Local Elementary School District Subcommittee. Every so often, we have issues that span different school district jurisdictions, and so we do need to convene similarly as we do with our city agencies. And then board policies is this committee doesn't meet. It doesn't convene. 2 board members serve on it and review upcoming board policies and apply the school district's lens to it and makes recommendations that the full board would then consider at a following meeting. So it is a good one, I think, to get to know our school district policies and what's in them, and lots of all the nooks and crannies of board policies.
Thank you. Does anyone have any preferences on committees they'd like to be part of?
Yeah, I'd like to be on the parent involvement, PIAC.
Mr. Ali?
And also the,
Oh, great.
I'm sorry, and also the one with the City of Daly City and Colma.
Okay.
For partnerships.
Did you?
So I'm definitely interested in the city and local partnerships,
Okay.
and the high school district and local elementary school districts.
Trustee Jordan, any preference?
I like the high school and the local elementary as well as the wellness.
Okay. I will do board policies, committees. That's not a problem for me. And I know Ms. Lingana won't be here, so.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, the board policies also sounds quite interesting. And being that I'm year 2, I think that would probably be helpful for me. So can I switch high school to board policies?
Sure.
Thank you.
If that's the case, I'll join the high school committee.
Sorry.
No worries.
Uh,
Oh, I guess Ms.
So you
Lingana.
better say it all out now because this is all confusing.
So I
right?
realize Ms. Lingana has no committees. I can read what I have right here. So
Okay.
for the PIA committee, it's Trustee Brizuela. Wellness is Trustee Jordan. City of Daly City, Coma, and other local partnerships is Trustee Brizuela and Trustee Ali. Jefferson Union High School District and local elementary school districts is Trustee Ali and myself. And then on board policies, it's myself and Trustee Jordan.
Does the board wish to consider Ms. Liainga for any of these subcommittees?
Yeah, I do think we should give her an option. I'm willing to step back from wellness or board policies, whichever one you think she would be more keen on.
She does joke that she loves board policies, but I don't know if it's just a joke. And she has faithfully served as a board policy subcommittee along with Mr. Koo for many years.
Okay.
So we know she can do it, but you guys can decide. She'd be willing, I'm sure, to do any of these assignments.
I think wellness would fit her.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can give up wellness.
Sure. Okay, let me read. Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay, so let me repeat what I have from what I've heard from everybody. The PIA committee is Trustee Brizuela. Wellness is Trustee Liinga Anawai. City of Daly City, Coma, and other local partnerships is Trustee Brizuela and Trustee Ali. Jefferson Union High School District and local elementary school districts is Trustee Ali and myself. And then board policies is myself and Trustee Jordan. Does that sound correct to everybody?
Yeah, so I'm down for the parent involvement and the
City
city,
Daily.
city.
Yep,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
okay.
If
good.
that's the case, we can make a motion on all these items by itself. Cool. Okay, cool.
So I move that we accept all the volunteer committee, are these committees? Volunteer subcommittees stated by President Koo that all the board members chose.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 That was unanimous. Next item is item 7C, oh, sorry, 7D, Superintendent Advisory Committee. The superintendent requests that the board members indicate willingness and interest to serve as advisors from time to time to superintendent on issues relating to the areas below. These advisory committees serve as advisory alone in any matter requiring board action or direction we brought to the full board. The two committees are Budget and Facilities and Educational Services. Superintendent Vidalis, could you walk through both of these as well?
Yeah, so as it mentions in the description, so from time to time, there are issues that it is nice to have a board eye prior to the full board, a board member's eye, community eye. The one that I can think of that's used most frequently is budget and facilities. When there is a new budget that's being proposed by the governor, oftentimes Assistant Superintendent of Business Services will ask me to convene this committee to go over all of the information that is out there regarding the new budget and then that those members of this advisory committee help give feedback about what is going to need more information and what needs less. So it's sometimes hard for folks who are steeped in this to get a lay person's view of both of these issues. So And they don't have a regular meeting schedule, it's just as things come up.
Thank you. Are there any interest from board members to serve on either of the two committees?
I'd like to be able to work on the budget and facilities.
Okay, Ms. Brizuela, Budget and Facilities. Any interest from Ali, Ms. Ali or Children?
Yes, I'm interested in both, but if you only need one, then I would choose budget and facilities.
Okay.
I can do educational services.
I was gonna just leave the last one open and allow Ms. Lingo Anaway to serve on the last one. So let me repeat what I have.
So there's no action on this, it's just,
Oh, okay.
you're just telling me what you're telling me your interest, and then I will assemble.
So I have Ms. Budget and Facilities is Trustee Brizuela and Trustee Ali. Education Services is Trustee Jordan, and we have offered Ms. Lingo Anaway position of that. Okay, cool. Item E is nominations for CSBA Subregion 5B Delegate Assembly. The governing board will consider nominating Clayton Koo for CSBA Delegate Assembly.
I'll make a motion for that.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 And I'll take a moment to say, I want to thank you, Clayton, because you've been giving us all the updates all the time. So you've always been right there to guide us. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yes, and the way this works is that our district has nominated Mr. Koo. And so the ballot will be put together by CSBA and sent to us sometime end of January, beginning of February, for us to vote with among all the nominated candidates for this position.
Thank you. Next item is item F, selecting dates for equity-focused governance study sessions. Board members will consider and select dates for follow-up study sessions on equity-focused governance with Nicole Anderson, founder and CEO of Nicole Anderson Associates Consulting, LLC, and Deborah Keys Wright, founder of Wright Keys 2 Consulting, LLC. The available dates for the 4 sessions are Session 1, January 11th or January 13th, Session 2, February 24th or March 1st, Session 3, April 12th or April 14th, and Session 4, May 16th or May 17th. Any discussion on dates in terms of 1, 2, 3, and 4?
I actually had just a slight question about how these consultants were chosen, and I just, because I've been to some of these in the past, and I've never seen it stated as equity focused. So I was just a little curious of how we got to the point that it's called equity focused.
So Ms. Nicole Anderson, she led a statewide network of school board members, CSBA Equity Network, I think is what it was called. That was probably in the 2018 year. In the 2019 year, San Mateo County School Board Association asked her to facilitate and lead a San Mateo County School Board Association an equity network. Out of that, individual school districts then started to work with Ms. Anderson and Ms. Keys Wright on, district-based equity work. They both worked with our school board. When was that? In the 2020, spring of 2020. We didn't finish. The board started to craft an equity statement, and we need to finish that and then to begin work on developing an equity policy. And both of these consultants, facilitators, are skilled in school board governance, the role of the board, and how to you know, how to set up a district so that then administration and staff could take it to the next level of implementing the board's direction expressed through the policy statement, through the equity statement and the equity policy.
Okay, thanks. I asked that question because, excuse me, just looking at it, it made me, wonder, was there some type of deficiency that was identified in us that we needed to have our governance framed in this way? So I got curious and I looked up the websites of both consultants, and I was actually impressed. And I saw that Ms. Anderson's think someone in her family started a school in Vallejo. She worked there as a teacher and some other things. So then I felt a little better, but I just wanted to get clarification. And I think it's good for the public to hear that too, because someone else just looking at the agenda might have the same types of questions. So thank you for that thorough answer.
And so I thank you for asking that question, because I do agree that the public would want to hear that. I would say that, at least in my experience, doing the equity sessions, it was really engaging. It was eye-opening. What I thought was equity was not what equity truly was. And, even being a person of color, I think a lot of times people look at you like, oh, you should know, you should have the answers. And it's like, no, I'm learning just like everyone else. So it was really helpful to not only hear the perspective of someone that had been teaching this and rolling it out to other districts, but also to get the perspective from the fellow board members on when we would read articles and have discussions on it, their perception or how they optically took it versus how I did. And so what I would say, and I don't know, I'm assuming that we recorded those sessions that we did, and we do have the draft equity statement that we created. It might be helpful for you, Trustee Eiley, to maybe review the sessions that we did and see what we came up with, so that way you're prepared for whatever sessions we have in the future.
Thank you.
I was just ask, any preference on dates for session 1, 2, 3, or 4? I think the only one for me is,
It's kind of like, it's hard to know what our calendar is going to be like, but I think anything, it'll be fine.
Wait, we need 4 sessions, so we need to pick one date from each of these sessions, is what I'm hearing, correct?
These are the dates that she has available, so, yeah, we can choose one from, but if 2 don't work, like, let's say session 1, it's pretty early. If neither of those work, we can make the dates for session 2 for session 1 and come up with, we just need to find 4 dates.
4 dates, exactly, so
yeah.
we need to pick 4.
4
Yeah.
dates or 3 dates, and then she can come back to us with an additional one.
So how many sessions are we gonna actually have?
We'll have 4 sessions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's usually some kind of homework in between, so it doesn't work to choose like January 11th and January 13th to be session 1 and 2, because you only have 1 day to do your homework, which.
Did we have 4 sessions the last time?
We did,
Yeah,
yes.
I remember there being multiple sessions, so.
And they're usually spaced about a month apart.
And I remember them being like 3 hours long or something like that. Was that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
It's like a
now I
6
have
to
another
9.
question.
yeah.
So I have another question. Is this in lieu of the other once a year?
No, this is in addition to. Yeah. So Ms. Rivera will be coming on January 22nd, Saturday, January 22nd. And that's traditional governance. And this is more the board's role in establishing the direction and establishing the leadership around equity, which is an important role for the board to play. In many districts, it's led by staff, and then the board is surprised. Like, what are you talking about? So we're asking that the board continue this work that they started, that you've started, so that staff can then follow up and put some of these things into action and start to make them actionable at the school site and the classroom level.
I was just gonna say for me, unfortunately can't do January 11th or 13th. I'm out of town those 2 days, so those are the only days I can't do. Everything else, I am currently available for those.
Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. Any of the dates work for me.
I was gonna say, I think Christopher's will you
I
said,
have no problem with any of the dates.
okay. Cool. Then I guess we'll just wait a second.
Lovely, no birthdays, no nothing. No holidays.
So I would just say maybe not May 16th. That is birthday and a family birthday. So if I could be home for that night, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, you don't want a 3-hour session on equity celebrating the birthday.
Somehow this is lucky for me. None of these dates have anything to do with any of my, no birthdays, no nothing, no anniversary.
Trustee Elliott, any dates that are
It's
conflict?
like a Rubik's Cube. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm still a little confused because we need 4 sessions and we're whittling down.
I think at this point, we choose one, like if the dates, January 11th and 13th don't work for Mr. Koo, we're not going to select either one of those. We're going to select February 24th or March 1. And so why don't we start with that? Is there no preference? The only thing is February 24th does fall during our President's Week of vacation, so Ms.
So let's
Jordan,
not do the
that may
24th
not work for you.
at all.
Okay, so so March 1st could work, right?
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And April 12th or 14th, that's a Tuesday and a Thursday, and it's not a board meeting week. It's the week after our spring break.
So, excuse me, Thursday? And what time is it gonna be?
It's usually, we've done it from 6 to 9 p.m.
So, in the evening?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. During the day is when I'm busy.
Yeah, so it's the 12th or the 14th. If there's no preference, we could let her decide.
It doesn't sound like there's any preference from anybody on that.
Okay, and then it would be May 17th. Okay, so and then we'll ask her for a 4th set of dates to do session 4.
And I think one of the sessions we did with her was a weekend day. I feel like maybe the first session we
Ms.
ever did.
Rivera, wasn't it? That was with Luann.
Maybe that was with Luann, never mind. The only reason why I asked that is I know everyone is pretty busy during the week, and with us, I'm assuming we're gonna have to come in person.
She's offering to do
Yeah.
them in person.
So the only concern that I have from a work perspective is getting here in person in time for a 6 o'clock meeting. Again, I'm gonna do my best to obviously accommodate that. So I guess I don't know if anyone's opposed on the board if she has an option for a weekend.
Like a Saturday session? Well, I'll put it out to her and say, does she have anything? The dates that she selected were, Deborah Key's right, she lives in Tennessee. So these were weeks that she was already out here doing other sessions with Miss Anderson or without.
it.
She was already in the Bay Area. So we can ask if there's other ones later.
And again, I'm bringing up the whole timing issue because I know people are, again, we're in person. It's not as easy as just clicking on the screen.
Correct.
And so commuting.
So we can also express, maybe we don't want to start at 6, maybe 6:30.
That might be helpful. However, obviously noting that that means we're getting out at 9:30, 10 o'clock. So
We can say 6:30, can we be done by 9, because we have to wake up the next day. And they are also commuting. She lives in Vallejo, I think. So she would be needing to travel back home, so. Okay, so this is for action. So we have the dates that we selected were March 1st, no preference on the 12th or 14th, and May 17th. So someone can make a motion for that.
You want to make a motion on the item?
I'll make a motion to select the dates for the equity-focused governance study sessions as stated. I believe we mentioned it would be March 1st. She can select April 12th or 4th, and then May 17th. And then she'll give us another date.
Correct.
There's a first. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a first and second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That was unanimous. Next is item 7G, revised district calendar 2021-2022. The administration recommends approval of the revised 2021-2022 district calendar, which includes the addition of a district holiday commemorating Juneteenth.
Yes, I think, so Juneteenth was declared by the president, June 17th, 2021. We did not have an opportunity to adopt a calendar to commemorate Juneteenth that year. So we will be commemorating the 2021 Juneteenth on December 29th, in a couple of weeks. And then from here on forward, commemorating it on the day of or on the closest Friday or Monday if on the weekend.
Thank you. Any questions from board members? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I just wanted to stop for a quick second. I know I sent a question to Mr. Vidales just about this item about Cesar Chavez Day. Is that actually on the calendar somewhere, or is it just?
It has been on the calendar in the past. I don't know if it's on there now, but usually it's commemorated or observed on the Friday before the spring break week, because it's his birthday is what, March 31st, I believe.
Yeah.
And our spring break has typically been the first full week of April.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to, because I know when I first was on the board, at some point it was taken out, or the teachers agreed, I think, to something happened with Cesar Chavez Day, but I was
yeah, it's observed more as a day of service and instruction and learning.
Right.
And so they're observed in many classrooms to do, learning activities or service activities on that day or the day before.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I move that we approve the calendar for the next school year.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next is item 8, persons wishing to address the board. This portion of the agenda is available for individuals to comment on or address the board on any issue that's under the board's jurisdiction and not on the agenda. The maximum time allowed for any speaker is usually 2 minutes. Ms. Covey, are there any speakers? Okay, cool. Seeing none, last item is item 9, adjournment. I'm going to close tonight's meeting at 7:46 p.m. Thanks so much.
hear you.